way it goes. Just the way it goes. Degrees.
Sadistic Penguin Studios presents It's Getting Drafty in Here.
Drafty old barn.
The show of drafting random nonsense.
I choose business ethics.
And now, coming to you from his basement, a.k.a. Draft Headquarters, your host and draft master, Magnificent Stan.
Hello, welcome to episode 46 of It's Getting Drafty in Here. I'm your host, Magnificent Stan, otherwise known as Brian. Today is Tuesday, the 11th of June, 2024. And today we are going to jump back in the Wayback Machine, go back 40 years, and we'll be discussing and drafting movies from the year 1984. Joining me are a couple buddies of mine. Excuse me. Our buddy from the Sadistic Penguin Studios, Aloha Mr. Hand. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you? And let me just say, that opening theme, it's got a good beat. You can dance to it.
Excellent. I think all three of us were dancing while it was playing. So that's it sounds kind of porno-ish, though.
It's a big porno vibe. Got a good thrust to it.
Beat you can thrust it. I actually am in the middle of getting a waiver from a recording company or a music label to get the rights to use a song to overlay and get rid of that one. So we'll eventually we'll be able to do that. Also joining us for another episode, our buddy Mailman Jack. How are you, buddy?
Excellent. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No problem. I picked you. You two popped in my head immediately when I'm like, 1984 movies. Let's get a couple guys that actually went to the movies in 1984. You know.
Yes. The old fuckers. You could say it.
The two old guys he likes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm old too, but I think the first movie I went to was in 1985, which was Follow That Bird. So.
Well, I can tell you, and I know Jack sent something along these lines. I spent a lot of money at Ford City in the year 1984 going to movies. Both Ford City East and West.
How does everybody not know each other? Because everybody I'm from the West. I'm from the Northwest burbs, and then I live in the Western burbs. I don't know anything about Ford City, but everybody went to Ford City. Everybody, Ford City.
It was the only mall. We had either Evergreen or, that was the place.
Mm-hmm.
I went to most of my movies were at Golf Mill or Golf Glen in Niles. So
well, we had Fort City if we wanted a new movie, and the old ones were. And what was the one on Archer?
Brighton. The Brighton.
Right. Those were the
right next to the Gerties.
That's right.
Yep.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, but it's funny anyway.
Gertie's ice cream, man. They're with Lindy's Chili now.
I don't even know what that is.
59th and Kedzie, right by Colony.
Yes.
Right
yes.
On.
I have a story about the girl that worked at Gertie's with one of the movies. Hopefully, I'll be drafting.
Okay. Well, then we'll save it for when you draft it.
Yes.
Cool.
Was the original person that got ghosted, I think.
Oh, right, so let's get rolling here. For one of the first times ever, I actually won the lottery, so I have the first pick. So this movie is not my favorite movie from 1984, but it's probably the best movie and the most successful movie. It spawned a number of sequels, basically kind of like a reboot going on now. It was the highest grossing movie of the year as well, but I don't think you can go one and not pick Ghostbusters, right? I mean,
Yeah, you have to. And I will say that is a movie I saw at Ford City.
like I think that's somewhere everybody saw that movie. So yeah, it came out the same weekend as Gremlins. So
yes,
that's insane.
Yes,
one of the biggest movies ever came out the same weekend. So
if you just look at the month of June for 1984, it's incredible.
I can't imagine any other year having this so the whole basis for this episode, I was watching at the show, and Yumper and Tony were doing Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
And I started just looking at 84, and I was looking at the list of all the movies, and I'm like, holy crap, I got to do a draft. Like, I think we did 2000 as one of the first handful of episodes, and that was a good time, but we haven't gone back to that. So
yeah,
I think this is a good
84. Incredible every month. I mean, we could do, the three of us could probably do, it would take forever, but we could probably do like 15 rounds. And
yeah. I made my list, and it's like 30 deep. So
yes, same here.
I was prepared. So
you got actors with two like good movies in the same year,
right?
You know.
So Ghostbusters, yeah.
All right, Ghostbusters is off.
Yeah, who are you gonna call?
Yeah, I mean, we came, we saw, we kicked its ass. I mean,
yes, exactly.
It's the tagline for the episode. So, yeah, it's classic. You can watch it over and over and over and over again. Years later, it's still just as funny. So
yes,
Harold Ramis is a damn genius, and so everybody.
And don't forget, Dan Aykroyd was one of the writers too.
Yep.
The original Bill Murray role was originally intended for John Belushi.
And then wasn't Ernie Hudson supposed to be Eddie Murphy?
I believe so.
And then he did Beverly Hills Cop instead.
Yes.
Which I guess Beverly Hills Cop, like if you watch Tony and Yumper, that movie got passed around to 300,000 people. And it went from serious to not serious to comedy to, just kind of getting floated around.
That's it's incredible. I mean, I don't know. My favorite, I think one of my favorite scenes in Ghostbusters is when they get fired from the university and they're drinking like the front steps of the place they're leaving. That's like that just seems like one of the sleeper scenes in that movie. It's hysterical. You've never worked in the world,
Yeah.
The way Venkman worked off of what was the EPA asshole's name?
Oh God, yes. Now the mayor.
It was Peck, right? Yeah, he's the mayor in the new one, right? Okay.
He's the mayor in the new one.
I haven't seen the new one yet. I knew he was the mayor though. That's kind of
funny. He was the mayor.
Bizarre, but yeah, I mean, you just can't. There's a lot of great movies this year. We already discussed that, and I feel like this one was way above everything else. Honestly,
yes, and it has to be number one. And one of my favorite sleeper scenes in the movie is when Bill Murray's trying to pick up the girl doing the electroshock therapy test, and the poor guy gets the card right, and he still shocks him, and the gum falls out of his mouth.
And he gets pissed off, yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But, all right. So I guess I'm up now, right?
Yes, dear.
Okay. So I am going with a movie that is a signature for the star of the movie. Not only for the movie, but for the album that came with it. It is by far his masterpiece. And that's Purple Rain.
Excellent.
If you notice the colors for tonight.
Yes. I mean, that, I remember the day I first heard When Doves Cry on WLS. Okay, I'm dating myself a little bit. You may not know it, Brian. I know Jack knows WLS.
I know WLS. Come on. I'm
What is radio?
not that young.
Yeah.
Did Larry Lujack play?
No, it was Brant Miller. Brant Miller, the weatherman on Channel 5 now, used to be a disc jockey on there.
Oh, yeah.
And Fred Winston.
That's fun.
And little snot-nosed Tommy Edwards, who did the PA for the Bulls for years. And he was the one who would do the, and now, from North Carolina. And remember, 1984, also a significant year because the Cubs won the division and choked against the Padres. Walter Payton breaks Jim Brown's record on the same day that the Cubs lost Game 5 of the NLCS to San Diego. On the same day. And, of course, the Bears win their division and progress to the NFC Championship game and get shut out by the San Francisco 49ers, leading to their 1985 season as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of sporting events that happened that year too, but I think the number one sporting event of all has to be the Bulls drafting this kid, what Michael something from North Carolina.
He's too short.
Yeah,
I wanted Sam Bowie. I mean,
I wanted Akeem the Dream, but he went number one.
hey, we would have won some titles with Akeem too. So
Oh, absolutely.
Guys,
or they could have went with Barkley too. Barkley came out that same year.
I think Jokic is probably the best center I've ever seen in my life, but Hakeem is right there. So
yeah, I was fortunate to see Kareem, so kind of hard to,
Tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 48 minutes. Have you guys seen the HBO show?
What show?
The what was it? What the one about the Showtime?
Oh,
Lakers?
Winning Time.
Winning
yes,
Time. Yeah.
Yes, fantastic.
They make Kareem look like such a fucking head case. I love it.
And in the first season, a raging asshole.
Yep.
It
Yep.
was
Jerry
It
West too.
I kind of wasn't digging it, and then after the second episode, I was totally hooked.
Yeah.
It's so over the top though. Like none of that shit's fucking true.
Even though the Larry Bird episode in season 2 is something to behold, especially when he plays the pickup game. And supposedly that's true.
Wow.
I think they went over the top, but a lot of it was based in some truth. Yeah.
I have a hard time. Like I don't have a problem believing that Jerry West was like a fucking lunatic, but they make him look like such a absolute psychopath. It's like a serial killer.
Yes.
But, all right, let's keep moving here. Jack, You got 2 picks here.
Hey, I got 2. I think actually getting picked last was a blessing.
I prefer it, honestly. There's not as much pressure.
All right. This movie was also spawned a lot of sequels, and it's probably my favorite of the series. I'm going to take Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom,
as in the porn world, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Poon.
Oh God!
Oh my lord!
The Lost Ark, awesome, but this one was dark. It was prequel, right? And
yes, this was right.
So we got 2 Dan Aykroyd movies in the first round. He has like a really small cameo in it with the British accent. Oh, I love this movie. I probably have seen it at least 20 times, probably 30. My son and I, if we're both up late at night and we can't sleep or whatever, we'll click it on just for.
I mean, even like the newer ones, even the ones that are shitty, like if it's on TV, you're gonna pop it on for a few minutes,
Exactly.
That's me
I
with
like this.
I prefer The Last Crusade's my favorite, honestly. I'm kind of in the minority on that, obviously, but
No, that's a good one.
if it's on, I'm watching it.
But this one, I don't know. It just and then the dude, Short Round, won an Oscar last year. and
That guy was fucking adorable.
I love that scene when they're camping with the snake, and just it's probably my favorite one of the Indiana Jones movies. Temple of Doom, easy, hands down, my favorite, and it was just sitting there for me to take it. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
When that bridge,
So
that wooden bridge falls down, everything about it is just awesome. Awesome. I know there's probably some like stereotypes in there that people probably get mad about or whatever, but I like that movie. I'll take it any day of the week.
Right
so we good?
on. Yeah.
For
Sounds
number
good.
2? I got props for my second pick.
Oh boy.
All right.
Hey, real quick, what I wanted to do as we go along, I wanted to mention where it ranked in the box office numbers. So Ghostbusters was actually number 2. Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom was number 3, and Purple Rain was number 11. So,
Okay.
All right,
I thought for sure Ghostbusters was 1.
you know, I've looked at like 4 or 5 different lists, and like 3 of them said the one I'm looking at right now is boxofficemojo.com, which what I understand is the most accurate.
Okay.
And it doesn't. It's like it's within a few million, but
I thought Dune was number 1.
No. Dear God, no.
All right, so my second pick, I'll take the movie that spawned all the top button swag that ever came out in the 1980s. It's a concert movie. Jonathan Demme, Tour de Force, Talking Heads. Oh, and my fat neck keeps popping my top button. Stop Making Sense. I probably have seen this movie 100 times. All at the Fine Arts Theater. Brought the record. It's a classic. And how many weeks did it play at the Fine Arts Theater, Pete? Probably for like 3 years straight.
Oh, at least. It was on a similar streak to Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Music Box Theater on Friday and Saturday nights at midnight.
I'm gonna play ignorant here. What are we discussing?
At the Fine Arts Building on Michigan Avenue, there was a movie theater right across the street from Millennium Park.
Yes.
And they played a lot of artsy movies there, but Stop Making Sense played there, I think, like 300 weeks in a row.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was guaranteed. It was written in Friday and Saturday night. You were going to see Stop Making Sense there,
and it was a great place to. It was kind of a good date. You know the movie. She reaches over to unlock your door. It was a good date gauge movie. You like Stop Making Sense? Yeah, you're okay. What the fuck was that? You know what? And you aren't going to talk anymore.
That is certainly an outside of the box pick there. I like it.
Pete knew I was going to take it.
Oh, I knew that was coming because
the second the year came up, I couldn't take it first, but I am going to take Stop Making Sense.
So if you had the number 1 pick, would you have taken it?
No, I would have took Ghostbusters. Like when we had the food draft, I didn't want to take Vito and Nick's first, but I had to. Anyway, Stop Making Sense. I probably have owned this record and several cassettes because a few probably got stolen out of my car when it got broken into.
I always go for the talking heads, don't they?
But when David Byrne comes out just with the boombox at the beginning of it for Psycho Killer, and then the band comes and joins, it gets you right there. You're in. it's just one of the best concert movies. I think I might use that GIF once in a while with David Byrne with the shaky legs and the giant and Twitter.
It's fun. It's a good one. That's a classic.
I love it. All right.
Yeah.
I was talking about the GIF. The GIF is actually a classic too.
Everything about, and then like I found like a little film of David Byrne practicing his moves for that movie. It's hysterical.
Didn't they do? Wasn't there a documentary that came out afterwards?
Yeah, there was. But like you could like clip this little film of like he's like practicing doing the like janky arm dance and stuff. It's hysterical. Just like that video of Bruce Springsteen practicing dancing in the dark moves.
Yes.
But hey, stop making sense. I know I probably overdrafted it a little, but I have a feeling Pete might have took it later.
Just to fuck with you.
Yeah, we'll story about it. Well, so I'm on the clock.
Yes, dear.
I am torn between 3 movies, and I would fully expect at least 2 of them to be picked by you next, Brian. So I am going to go with a sort of out-of-the-box one that also spawned an entire genre of films. And I'm going with John Hughes' 16 Candles.
Motherfucker. I'm going to get you.
This movie, and again, I know how this is going to sound. I went and saw it at Ford City. Spawned the Molly Ringwald love, the Anthony Michael Hall love,
the long duck
dog. No more Yankee my wanky donger need food.
What's your name, Dong? What's your middle name?
Duck.
Duck.
Your first name, Long.
Long. It's my favorite John Hughes movie. I love Breakfast Club, but 16 Candles has everything.
See, I love Weird Science.
Weird Science is fucking great too. Yeah.
A sleeper one from the John Hughes genre to me is Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yes.
Automobile.
Yeah, I mean, that whole movie, it was perfectly casted.
Yes.
Like Molly Ringwald's dad is, that guy's such a great actor. Everybody's so good. Even like Joan Cusack with the frickin' thing, and she's trying to
John
get water.
Cusack,
the mouth guard.
Yeah. And John Cusack is one of Anthony Michael Hall's friends,
lackeys,
wearing the WLS T-shirt. And
I never noticed that. That's awesome.
Yes. But it just, because it spawned so many, it gave him the, John Hughes, the sort of gravitas to make The Breakfast Club and to make, Weird Science and Pretty in Pink, and let me just tell you, my senior prom, I heard If You Leave so many fucking times. It was like, stop, please stop. But the best part of my senior prom, and I know this is going off on a tangent, is the theme of my senior prom was Cherish, which was based off of the Kool and the Gang song Cherish. So at one point, a friend of mine goes up to the DJ and asks, "Are you going to play the theme of the prom?" "No, I forgot to bring it."
But here, I got Color My World. That's the theme of every other prom.
Yeah, I know. Well, remember, that was used in, what was it? Almost Famous.
Yeah.
During the graduation scene.
Yep.
You know what's sneaky, brilliant scene from 16 Candles is when the grandma's making breakfast.
Oh, with the cigarette?
And she's smoking, and the other grandma's got the spatula, and she's holding it under to make sure the ashes don't get in the food. Yes, that's the grandparents of that movie.
Yeah,
Fucking chef's kiss, man.
Or several times.
and the little brother, when he tries to be cool towards the end, when the mother says, "We forgot your sister's birthday," and he's like, "Awesome," and he tries to like go into the door, just boom right into the door.
Oh, so good.
I'll take 6 Candles over Breakfast Club.
I agree. It's close.
Yes.
It's close, but yes, I agree. There's another part, and the next time you watch it, you'll notice it when they're all going to their cars to go to the wedding.
The wedding or the reception?
The wedding, when they're all leaving to get to the cars to go to the wedding, and it's the dad and his parents when they pull out and see Long Duck Dong, and it's all the grandparents and the dad. The grandma, the little grandma, the one with the dark hair, she doesn't get in the car. She just crouches next to the car.
Oh, no shit.
Next time you watch it, you're like, holy shit, she didn't even get in the car.
and I love the scene. Dong. Woo, he's loaded.
He's drunk as a skunk. That grandpa, the other grandpa's such a scumbag too. He's like, Howard, she's gotten her boobies. Let me get my magnifying
glass.
So well written. John Hughes is a genius.
Yes.
Rest in peace, John Hughes. Okay, so I had 4 movies at the top of my list, and I'm like, I want 3 of these, and I had no intention. I had no inclination that it was going to be available to me here.
Mm-hmm.
When
I know
Jack,
one of them.
When Jack took Stop Making Sense, I was like, yes, I'm gonna get 3.
You're welcome.
16 Candles was one of them, obviously. That's why I was so upset. I would have taken 16 Candles first overall if you
didn't have Ghostbusters.
If I didn't also think that maybe you guys weren't gonna pick it. So first pick here, I'm gonna go Terminator.
Yes.
It's fucking Terminator, man.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. The second one I feel is a better movie. But the first one's very, very good too.
Yes.
It sets the tone for a million other Terminator movies that they made. So, and oddly, it did not do that well at the box office.
No, and I think some of the people watching may not understand the power of the video store back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And also, a lot of people that are my age and a little younger consider Terminator 2 like the first movie.
Right.
A lot of them never even saw the first one. So yeah, I mean, I got to take it. It was 21st at the box office that year. So I'm kind of surprised, but and then where the hell was 16 Candles?
You think Arnold's naked ass would have drawn that?
What a glorious day.
16 Candles was 44th. So another one that just did way better afterwards. I mean, I remember growing up that was on HBO every 10 minutes. So, and then I don't think Stop Making Sense is on the list.
Oh, they probably.
Yeah, because it was a very short run, not a limited run.
Oh,
so.
Jerk. But Jonathan Demme, really? I don't remember Buzz Kilman.
Yes.
Did you watch Stop Making Sense and think this guy's going to make a Hannibal Lecter movie at some point?
No,
and also Married to the Mob, a very underrated movie.
Hey,
good point, Yump. Good point.
I can't see
that is a good one. I've seen that one before, but that is a fantastic fact. Bill Paxton is the only guy to be killed by a Terminator, Alien, and Predator.
Oh, all right.
Game over, man. Game over.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with my next one here. I bet you're thinking one movie, but I'm actually gonna go with another movie. This was the 4th one. I am going with Karate Kid.
I knew it was between that and another movie.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're gonna take that one next. So
yes.
But Karate Kid's a damn classic. I mean,
Yes.
you can't. Another movie that like I had the VHS as a kid and just wore the shit out of it. So,
Yep.
and for some reason I liked the sequel, which was terrible. But,
It wasn't bad. The third one was bad.
oh yeah, the third one's really bad, really bad. I still haven't seen Cobra Kai. I need to
Really?
watch that. No,
Yeah.
no, I haven't watched it yet. Have you guys ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
Did you see
Yeah.
that the stuff with Billy Zabka?
Oh God, is that
It's
priceless?
so good. So, and there's actually people out there that have a theory that Daniel LaRusso is the actual villain.
Yes.
So like the fact that they ran with it on that show is funny, but like that was already like a theory that people had that Daniel LaRusso was the outsider that just kind of jumped in and got in everybody's face, you know.
Yes.
Like,
But yeah, Karate Kid's great. Pat Morita's brilliant in it.
Oscar nominee Pat Morita for the Karate Kid.
He was great on MASH too, right, Jack?
absolutely.
He played 7 different characters, but he was great on MASH.
Popped up a lot.
I'm pretty sure that you and I could have a contest over who watched MASH more, you or me, because I've seen MASH a million
Got a
times.
Yah
as well.
Dog out there too.
So, but yeah, I gotta go Karate Kid. Karate Kid was 5th at the box office.
I'm gonna
Okay.
get house vote like nobody's business in this fucking trip.
You got to market all the Talking Heads fans.
Oh. All the
Yes.
weirdos that wore.
Well,
top
Jack,
button.
I will just give you a hint. There is another music movie out there,
Oh, there is.
but I am not taking that right now.
Damn it.
What I am taking is, I feel like doing the Neutron dance, and the heat is on.
Oh.
I got to go Beverly. You got to go Beverly Hills Cop.
Is it EY? No, Bever.
No, LY. Yeah.
Okay.
We were kidding around last year at my at my niece's wedding. I bought a 3-piece suit, and I was trying to go for what's that guy on that popular TV show now that wears the TV 3-piece suit? He's a cop, and I ended up more looking like Eddie Murphy's boss.
TV cop.
The one-
Are we talking about Sipowicz?
Will
No?
Trent. I ended up I was going for Will Trent, but I ended up what's his name? Inspector or something?
Inspector Todd.
Inspector Todd.
Yeah. You see, I lost half my ass, and well, you still got plenty of it there.
He's one of the
But-
best parts of the whole
So
movie.
Beverly Hills Cop was number 1 on that list.
Okay.
So this
Because
is
the list.
So this is worldwide box office. I think domestic. I think Ghostbusters
Flip
was 1.
those two.
So
Because I have Ghostbusters 1, Beverly Hills Cop 2, and Indiana Jones 3.
right. That's what I have here. Beverly Hills Cop 234 million worldwide. Ghostbusters 229. So they were within 5 million.
Yeah. Right.
But,
But I remember going to see Beverly Hills Cop on a Saturday night at Evergreen.
oh, it wasn't Ford?
No, it wasn't at Ford City. You had to go to Evergreen to see it. Which,
Oh,
you know.
yes, we know why you had to go to Evergreen.
And it made for
It-
how can I, Jack, keep me honest on this. The movie going experience at Ford City was more tame, and the audience reactions at Evergreen, they were more into the picture, let's say.
Oh, we all understood.
It's like screaming at the screen. Get him!
Oh yeah.
Look out behind you! Okay.
Horror movies were the best.
Oh,
I told you not to open the door, you dumb bitch.
That was Golf Glen Theater growing up was like that too, because Golf Mill was like a little nicer, and the Golf Glen Theater was like a shithole. So
Yeah, and you know, I just remember going to see one of the Friday the 13th. I can't remember which one there, and just someone at one
was it
point.
the one that came out in 1984?
No, I don't think so. I think it was later. It might have been the 3D one. whenever that was. But I just remember at one point there's a scene where someone gets stabbed, obviously. I told you not to open the door, you stupid bitch! What the fuck were you thinking? And yes, Evergreen was close to Rainbow Cone. Go get a Rainbow Cone, too.
I am clipping you saying that right now, and I'm going to use it all the time.
My favorite night to go to Evergreen was to the Sunday night movie, because there was something about. I mean, you can go on Friday and Saturday, and it was free for all. But like on Sunday night, you didn't hear a lot of dialogue to a movie. It was a lot of audience talk. Evergreen Theater.
I just love how as soon as you said Evergreen, you knew exactly where Pete was getting with that. That's just fucking great. You two feed off each other really well. I want to have you guys on together many times moving forward.
Well, you got to remember, we grew up same area, same time, so.
Right.
He didn't have to leave too many Scooby snacks to lead me to where he was going.
But like I said, horror movies were the best at Evergreen. Absolute best.
And I think my next pick I saw at Evergreen too.
What do you got?
And are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes, fire away.
We got two
We're
here.
introduced to a young Johnny Depp in this movie.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Where I think one of the the phrase was coined, ghosted. I took a young lady that worked at Gertie's, who was really good looking, and saw this movie. And afterward, we got along really, really well.
Was that in the parking lot,
Her
Jack?
job, she moved out of the country. I don't know. Something about going to see A Nightmare on Elm Street with me on a weekend at Evergreen, and we had a little too much fun, and she disappeared.
Yada yada yada. I never heard from her again.
From her again.
I swear to God, I had nothing to do with it. I wanted a second date. The first one went really, 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 really well.
Okay, we got 4 really wells there.
I think this is Sadistic Penguin Studios' first moment of Jack talking about getting laid.
And then I got 1984 Ghosted.
Now, when all this was going down, were you playing the theme music to this show in the background?
No.
There wasn't any thrusting.
Did you? No. I have to ask. Did someone tell you to play side 1 of Zeppelin 4 and you were playing Kashmir?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It was amazing. Like I said, this nice young lady worked at Gertie's, and I knew where to
Which
find
one?
her. Like, oh,
which one?
quit.
She worked at Gertie's, of course.
Which one?
Phone got disconnected. It was hard to ghost someone then.
I think Jack is telling us his girlfriend lived in like Minnesota or something, you know? I got a girlfriend. She lives in Minnesota.
She's from Canada. You wouldn't know her.
My God. Gertie's got a lot of my money before I went to see Nightmare on Elm Street. And boom.
Oh man.
Nope.
I just have to ask Jack, which Gertie's?
The one on 59.
Hey, Kedzie?
Yeah.
Next to the old Colony Theater.
Colony.
Yep.
With the stuffed animals along the ceiling.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. They were ridiculously priced. It'd be like, oh, that dog's really cool. Oh, it's only $150. 1981. That was a lot of money.
It's a lot of money now. What are you talking about?
Always crack. I remember my dad. To get my dad to laugh out loud was an achievement. He would bust out laughing looking at the prices of those stuffed animals along the ceiling at Gertie's. It's like, who the hell would pay $50 for a stuffed beagle? You know?
Yep.
I could throw 3 balls at a milk jug at the carnival and win that thing.
Hey, that would be the St. Clair de Montefusco Carnival.
That St. Clair did throw a good carnival. a lot of they threw a very good carnival.
Yes, they did.
And then you can go for Little Joe's pizza afterward.
Yes, you did.
Oh
No, Sam, we haven't gotten to Geely Origins yet.
No, that might be the story of Jack's date that ghosted him. Geely Origins.
I'm sorry for I overshare. It's my now. I can't. I was looking up 1984, and I'm like, oh, 1990, Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'm like, oh yeah, remember I got ghosted.
Well, it worked out all for the best, Jack. Accentuate the positive.
I met my one. God knows how many years later, and whatever. I got another.
All right, Jack, you got another one coming here.
Another music movie where young Kevin Bacon moved from Chicago out to a town that hated music. And he taught best buddy how to dance on a...
Who still doesn't know how to dance.
Rest in peace, Chris
Please.
Penn.
Yes, who became a reservoir dog later on.
Chicken with
He also started in Best of the Best.
I will take Footloose, please. And for some reason, I had another prop, but I could not find it. I don't know who borrowed my.
I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna break out into some type of dance
I was
sequence.
gonna start doing my gym routine with a bar hung on the ceiling.
You're running in the warehouse. Yeah.
No, Jack needs, if he's going to run in the warehouse, he needs the heater and the beer.
Oh my god! And John Lithgow is
phenomenal in that. John Lithgow is great in everything. I think
awesome in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit out of that role.
He's even great in Harry and the fucking Hendersons. That guy can do no wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's great in another movie on my list, but I don't think I'm going to pick it. I don't think I have to.
You guys ever watch Dexter?
Yes.
Occasionally, yes.
He's a serial killer on Dexter, and he's fucking great on it.
Strangely enough, I kind of got all the movies I wanted. I'm gonna lose this horribly, but we did it.
Me and Sam and my buddy Kevin did a basketball draft, similar to like the baseball build a team ones that we do. And my buddy decided to have a theme to his team, so he only picked players that have hyphenated names. And it's
now that's good.
It's so funny.
That is a good one.
He also did another baseball one where he only picked guys with the first name Glenn. I had Steve Niss and Mitch Kaminsky on that one, and Steve and I are laughing our asses off, and I'm not quite sure Mitch understood that it was it was like a gimmick or a shtick for.
So does Glenn?
Rounds.
Yeah, does Glendon Rush and Glen Ellen Hill qualify for that?
No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Glenn. It was Greg. I'm sorry.
Okay, gotcha.
Because he took Greg Walker at one point. So
okay,
fired Greg Walker at one point.
So I actually have.
There he is. There's Kevin. Yeah. There. Quite close.
I actually have several movies still left on my list.
I have a ton.
Yeah. So I am going to use just one word to describe my next movies. And I'm going to say it in the way that one of the most famous characters in the movie said it. Nerds!
Yep.
What movie would that be?
I think the single best part of that movie, besides the fact that they do a panty raid and put cameras in the woman's dorm and sit up all night eating cereal with beer, which, by the way, Frosted Flakes and Miller Lite, top notch.
You know what's so funny is you watch that movie now and you're like, these fucking kids would have gone to jail, man.
Yes. Yes.
These kids would have been put in fucking prison and locked up and throw away the key.
Oh God, yes, without question. But it just is. And okay, a movie I saw again at Ford City. I saw it in Jack. I saw it in the theater that was like the closest one to Cicero that you walked up the stairs to.
Oh yeah.
That's the one it was in.
Like,
I saw it.
I got laid in that theater one day, and
Handy up there.
Yeah, it was.
Popcorn box had a hole in the bottom.
Yeah.
We were watching. And David Byrne started doing the dance, and I got really excited.
Was it David Byrne or Kevin Bacon? But it was nice and dark in there, so if there was some extracurricular activity, it was if you sat in the right spot, the lights were like the light bulb was out, so you could get away with things there. And let me just say, I did. Okay.
Good Lord.
Statute of limitations has long since passed, so But yeah, I got to go Revenge of the Nerds just because it's so freaking outrageous.
Hey, that's my pie.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just so freaking outrageous, and I loved one of the scenes that cracked me up the most was the belching contest, and God. Just the look of defeat on Ogre's face when Booger beats him in the belching contest.
John Goodman's phenomenal in that too.
Yes,
you knew that movie was only going to get better and better.
Yes.
And then of course one of those nerds became a superstar basketball player for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards. So
exactly.
And one of those nerds became Goose in Top Gun.
Same guy.
Yes, same guy. And was a doctor in Chicago.
First guy ever to say shit on national television. Planned, at least.
Yes.
Excellent.
All right, that's a good one. Yeah, that was definitely high up on my list. I'm still kind of shocked this one has fallen this far. I mentioned that it came out the same weekend as Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I wasn't intending on taking it, but it fell, so I gotta. I almost took it when I took Karate Kid, but I'm gonna take Gremlins.
The worst.
There's some. Oh yeah, he's the worst. There's some pretty terrible human beings in this movie. The dad is.
How dare you call Phoebe Cates terrible? How dare you?
The dad is awful, awful, and then you get that old lady, the old lady that comes to the bank and is literally telling the kid that she's gonna murder his dog. There's so much weird shit going, and then like Phoebe Cates telling stories about her dad dying in the chimney. And it's like, what the fuck am I watching? Like it's a children's movie about little cuddly soft creatures.
Oh, that movie was excellent.
Corey Feldman's hanging out with this 20-year-old kid. Like, what's going on there? Like,
Corey Feldman's probably still hanging around with 20-year-old kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Gremlins was 4th at the box office in 1984. Revenge of the Nerds was 16th, and Footloose was 7th. So, and my final pick, I'm still deliberating. There's a lot of options. I think I'm gonna go
11.
Huh?
Nothing.
I think I'm gonna go with the movie the poster we used for this show.
I knew it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bachelor Party. I almost went with a different Tom Hanks movie.
I know which one that is.
I love both of them.
Yes.
So the other one is like a family classic. Like that was like one of the movies that we watched a lot when we were kids. My parents loved that movie, but Bachelor Party. Every time I watch it, it gets funnier and funnier. Another one that's like none of this shit could ever fucking happen again.
That movie
Like,
does not get made today.
All of these guys would be in prison.
Yes.
Especially the little guy that goes to get the you girls is the hookers.
Oh, that movie is.
You're a pimp. You look like Gandhi.
It actually gets better with it. That is one of the few movies that actually gets better with age.
Yes.
My buddy Kevin used to do cocaine with Gizmo in the 80s.
Oh, and just let me say, I have one thing to say about Gremlins. You all know and love the real life gremlin that I have to deal with on a regular basis.
Quit talking about Wally like that. It's really not nice.
Because if you feed Wally or give Wally alcohol after 7 p.m., he is a gremlin.
He's got the stripe.
Yes. And I have to say this. We were in Vegas a couple years ago. We were at a bar called Atomic. And this woman walked in with like a gremlin puppet. And she put the thing on the bar stool next to Wally. And I'm like, Wally, there's a fucking gremlin sitting next to you. He's like, Dad, what? Holy shit, it's a gremlin.
Oh,
I didn't think you were talking about Wally. I thought you were talking about someone else, but you know.
Well, he was there too. But yeah.
Bachelor Party was 19th in 1984. We're gonna have a lot to talk about with the dump list too. So.
Yes, absolutely. Because I'm looking at my list, and there's still a shitload of things out there.
I have like 20 movies still on my list. So
yeah, I do too. And I'm torn between 3 movies.
Real quick, I want to point out. I already highlighted it, but this this line from Shankster. You're an asshole, and I'm afraid my grandchildren will be little
assholes. And the Indians win the pennant.
Hey, everybody, it's Cole.
That's a nice car, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. His buddy, the mechanic, is the best. That guy's a freaking maniac.
But so with my last pick, like I said, I'm torn between a couple of movies, and one has to do with a Seinfeld reference. One is something that was previously mentioned, and one is another that spawned several sequels to it, let's say. So I think I'm going to go with the one that spawned several sequels, and that's Police Academy.
Oh, that's a good one. Very good.
I feel like Police Academy, the first one's epic, and the rest of them are just fucking steaming garbage.
and the steam of the garbage got worse.
Right.
Each one after.
Let's give Steve Guttenberg as many opportunities as you possibly fucking can, right?
Yes. And don't forget Bobcat Goldthwait starting in Police Academy 2. I
always liked the guy Tackleberry was always my favorite.
Yes. And Tackleberry, another Seinfeld guest.
Yeah. Yeah.
The cop who was supposed to protect Jerry from Crazy Joe Davola.
Now you're getting coffee? Now you're getting a sandwich? What's going on here?
Oh, God.
All right, Jack, close it out.
On this list, it's disgusting. Wow. I get the final one. I
would like to say real quick as well, it's not an 80s movie draft until we take a movie that has Michael Winslow in it. So good job, Jeff. Good job, Pete.
Oh God.
All right, I'm going to take a movie that everybody loved, and I tried to watch it last night, and it's comically horrible. there are so many stars in it, but everyone got off on it when it came out because it was a bunch of high school kids fighting the Ruskies. Red Dawn.
Oh God! Yes.
Avenge me!
Wolverines.
So good. So good.
It's horrible.
Oh, it's fucking awful, but that's the point. It's supposed to be awful. They were supposed. The whole idea of that movie was to scare the shit out of you that Cuba was going to take over. You know.
And then, like, two of the eventual Dirty Dancing stars are in it.
Yes.
And it was just like, oh, Charlie Sheen. Oh.
And Ponyboy Curtis was in it too, if I remember correctly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and the other, Leah Thompson is, what's her name? Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson was in it.
It's just star after star.
Was it C. Thomas Howell?
C. Thomas Howell.
Yeah. Ponyboy Curtis. C. Thomas Howell.
Yeah. And I loved that movie. I probably hadn't watched it.
It's another one. If it's on, you're gonna watch it.
Years.
That's me every time.
But I'll take Red Dawn. It was just so.
That was high up on my list too.
And they're in this class, and these guys are parachuting into their little mountain town. It's so wild.
It's so random. Yeah.
C. Thomas Howell is dead. You know your dad's dead. Oh my God. Oh, it was
I just love when Swayze and Sheen are talking to their dad at the fence, and he's just, avenge me! It's the best. It's the best part of that whole movie. It's so over the top.
It's so over the top. And
that was number 20 in the box office.
I believe, and you know what? I also think, like Pete was talking about, it lived a very good life at the video stores.
Yes.
Yep.
You take Red Dawn so many times. Oh, let's get Red Dawn. You know?
I think we had a tape. I think we had a tape when I was a kid. You know, you'd have like 3 movies on a tape, and it was Red Dawn. I think they were all 83 movies too. It was Red Dawn, Starman, and what the hell was the other one?
That didn't make it. I was really going to be a jerk and take 2 Jeff Bridges movies back to back, and I
almost took 2 Tom Hanks movies back to back. So
yes,
that'd have been pretty funny.
Yes,
I fucking love Splash. I love Splash.
I do too.
John Candy. Yeah,
yes.
John Candy is Splash.
Yeah,
looking under, dropping the change.
Well, they were brothers,
fucking
right?
great.
Yes, they were brothers in the movie.
Right, Tom Hanks and John Candy. That's totally believable brothers right there. Like the family bloodline in Blue Bloods, you know.
See,
man,
Gordo would have taken Breakin' and Beat Street in the same round.
Hey,
Breakin' is one that I had on my list, and it is a soundtrack that I did own back in the day. And when you first proposed this, I went back and listened to the Breakin' soundtrack.
So I got a piece that's hilarious. I haven't heard that soundtrack in decades.
Yes.
What was the highest grossing movie that wasn't drafted?
The highest grossing Star Trek 3.
No.
What?
Romancing the Stone.
The Stone. Oh yeah.
It made $100,000 more than Star Trek 3. So good guess, Pete.
Well, Star Trek 3 was the one I was talking about with the Seinfeld significance, because remember, Kramer got in. You know, Kramer told Elaine to go do the Urban Sombrero for the catalog. You know, she had to get in touch with her inner Katra.
True, you're right.
And Buckaroo Banzai was on my list too.
Where's Johnny
Buckaroo Banzai made
you know what? We got one list, so let me show that real quick. This is from the Sugar Baggy, Tony.
Top Secret.
Top Secret's really good. Blood Simple. Yeah, the Coen. That's the first Coen Brothers movie, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Blood Simple. Yeah, I think so.
Top Secret is definitely a video store phenomenon movie.
Yep. So was Hot Dog the movie.
Yes, but for very different reasons.
Yes. for sure.
Hot Dog.
Real quick, let me read it for the people that are just listening to the podcast. I got Top Secret. This is Tony's list. Top Secret, Blood Simple, Bachelor Party, Stop Making Sense, Purple Rain, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, and then he jokingly mentioned The Natural, but he actually meant it because he likes The Natural. So
all right, so
I like The Natural too, and The Natural was on my list. But
you're a monster. I'm not going to go deep into that one. I've talked about it on podcasts way too many times at this point. But if you guys want to discuss The Natural, by all means.
I own a New York Knights varsity jacket.
Nice. I have the Wonder Boy bat.
Oh,
the actual one.
I have a Wonder Boy bat.
Was it struck by
They
lightning?
boned it, so it lasts forever.
Yes, exactly. It was boned, so it wouldn't chip.
It was boned. It was at the and got boned.
That kid is the worst actor ever. He's like, "Can you make a bat like that, bat? Can I have that bat?" Like, what the fuck?
I boned it.
I boned it so it wouldn't chip.
I'll say this, and I've said it a million times. Epic cast. Horrible movie.
Oh.
I don't think it's horrible. I
it was
liked
just
it.
Really poorly executed.
I enjoyed it. It got a little heavy-handed with the symbolism.
Yeah.
It got very heavy-handed. The scene with Glenn Close,
Well,
the sun shining on
with
her.
the with the light. Yeah, come
Yeah.
on. Quit getting don't get fartsy. It's a fucking baseball movie. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to get so like over the top artsy with it. You know what I mean?
Well, now if I remember correctly, in the book, he strikes out. He doesn't hit. He doesn't hit the home run.
You're exactly right. He strikes out. He doesn't floating like.
Okay. We just got a comment. The Natural is the Zach Collins of baseball movies.
Gonna occasionally draw a walk, but nothing else.
Yeah.
No, you know what? We're all gonna get a visit tonight from Aaron, and he's gonna beat the hell out of us if we make fun of it.
Aaron knows where I stand with that one. We've had conversations many times.
Yes, I saw Aaron's multiple natural responses to this episode tonight.
I have literally seen Tony on a podcast, like a vein pop in his forehead. He gets so mad while we're discussing The Natural.
Oh God!
So
that's great. That is awesome.
So all right, let's keep going with other movies that were not picked. Pete, you want to start?
Sure. I had Splash, which we talked about.
Yep.
Star Trek 3, which we talked about, The Natural. Buckaroo Banzai, which has another John Lithgow out of this world performance.
Yep. Our guy Frank mentioned that.
Yes, and also Jeff Goldblum appearance in there too, and Clancy Brown, who later went on to fame as the guard in Shawshank Redemption. Byron Hadley.
That guy's a great actor. Chicago guy, right?
I believe so, but I'm not certain.
Okay.
Against All Odds was on my list, which is a great Jeff Bridges, Rachel Ward movie. I think that's her name.
Pyramid
yes, it's a scene in the pyramid. Yep.
Walking in at the wrong time and.
Yeah, exactly.
That was on. I didn't get that.
Yeah, Firestarter with Drew Barrymore blowing shit up.
I love the dad. I love the dad. That's Jack Parkman, by the way.
Yes.
You're blind. Do. And the guy's like, ah.
The other music movie I was referring to, it wasn't Footloose. It was This Is Spinal Tap.
Yep.
Yes.
On my
that
list.
was on the list too. That's when I said 11.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. The Never Ending Story actually came out in 84, even though people think it's 85 because that's when the song became popular.
Never Ending Story.
Breakin', Romancing the Stone, a very underrated Steve Martin movie that I think he should have actually been nominated for an Oscar for, All of Me, with Lily Tomlin.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's by far his best role.
And I fucking love Lily Tomlin too. She's
Yes. It is by far his best role.
Yeah.
I think personally he should have been nominated for an Oscar. I think when you watch it, you'll understand why. Because
so Cheaper by the Dozen wasn't his best movie?
No, absolutely. Okay. Well, Sergeant Bilko's up there too, and Bowfinger. Bowfinger.
What about Roxanne?
Roxanne was very, very good too. In all honesty, it was very, very good. But Bowfinger just for fake person ninjas at the end. But then I have Tank with James Garner owning a tank and blowing shit up in the city that arrests his son for no reason. Moscow on the Hudson, That's a great Robin Williams movie.
That's one of his best performances, in my opinion. Even though I feel like his accent's a little over the top, but that's a great movie.
Yes, Conan the Destroyer, the second Conan movie.
Is that the one with
Will Chamberlain? Okay. Yes, yes. Top Secret and Hot Dog the movie, which, if you've never seen Hot Dog the movie, I am sure video stores would tell you that the one tape that they had the most issues with was Fast Times at Ridgemont High always breaking at a certain point because it was stopped for some reason. Hot Dog the movie would probably be number 2, and it was being stopped for the same reason.
So you mentioned Conan the Destroyer, and I it's a terrible movie, but it did spawn this moment, which is Will Chamberlain, Andre the Giant, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I want to go drinking with those three so bad.
Yeah, because Andre would drink about 60 beers, no sweat.
60, 80, yeah.
Yeah, Wilt, you'd probably get some,
and a couple and like 10 bottles of wine as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Wine, so.
Yeah, Wilt, you'd probably get some of his leftovers.
Was he hanging out? Was he hanging out at Ford City too, or
he was in Peacock Alley?
Okay.
Oh, Peacock Alley was the best.
All right. Jack, did you have any other movies that we didn't mention?
Of course I did. Johnny Dangerously.
Yep.
Was on the list. Oh God.
You know that movie got really bad reviews, and I don't get it. I mean, it is what it is. But
yeah.
Hey, Johnny Dangerously, and then Keith brought. Like I said, I was really tempted to go on the snake draft, Starman, and then against the Allah. But I didn't have the balls. I should have. I'm really disappointed in myself on that one.
Shank, yes. To answer your question about Hot Dog the movie, yes.
Muppets Take Manhattan was almost selected. I took Bachelor Party instead. So
yeah. I realized something. We did not pick Amadeus, which won the Best Picture, and the Killing Fields, which was the other big Oscar movie for 1984,
and also the critically acclaimed movie Children of the Corn.
That's true.
Oh, and here's my other Birdie. You know what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Get Out, awesome movie, and probably got better the second and third time you might have watched it. Birdie.
Good soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean,
we forgot the two Clint Eastwoods. You had Tightrope.
Yeah.
And City Heat, was it City Heat with Burt Reynolds?
Were either of those? Was that the one with the monkey?
No.
That movie always makes me laugh when I see Clint Eastwood hanging out with a fucking chimp. You're like, what am I watching? What? Whose acid did I accidentally take?
I'm gonna take you to get your driver's license test today.
What was the second one? Any Which Way You Can was the second one. Isn't that where they had Ruth Gordon's face superimposed over Bo Derek's body from 10 running on the beach?
Right, and actually, Bolero.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Dougie. I
on
didn't
my
even think about that one.
list. Bolero was on there.
Yes, Bolero. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the amount of movies, but I think maybe they're all just like they're so emblazoned in our mind. Is I could see them shelf at the video store. Every movies. You could
Like
see
the new release like rack.
right.
And you see him on there, because if I remember correctly, Ghostbusters didn't come out on video until like mid to late '85, I want to say.
That happened a lot with movies back then, though.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't come out for a couple of years.
Right.
And it was just
Jedi didn't come out till '86, I want to say.
Well, and in the early '80s, they were still trying to figure out whether VHS or Beta was going to win.
Yes.
I mean, by mid '80s, it was VHS. But
did anyone mention the Gremlins like knockoff Ghoulies?
Ghoulies, so bad.
That was
so bad.
It was horrible. But I probably saw it at least 5 times.
Jesus Christ! I think I've seen it twice.
And
you gotta get high when you watch Ghoulies or Mac and Me, like one of those two.
God, Mac and Me.
There's one movie that we haven't mentioned that is one of my favorite. Like, it's one of those that's not great, but it's one of those that you have to watch always. It was like Yumper always asks on the show like movies that you see when you're homesick, or it's like you're
right, a good comfort movie.
The Last Starfighter.
Oh God, yes,
that's my movie, man. That
now, like, Never Ending Story.
Never-ending Story is if you watch it now, when you're a kid, it's fucking amazing. When you watch it now, you're like, what is this fucking thing?
Maybe I was already too old.
The kids just got to say your name and the world's fixed. What the fuck?
I'm going to have to watch it tonight. Anyway, but there's so many movies. Oh my God.
Yes.
I mean,
there was the Once Upon a Time in America with Sergio Leone, with De Niro, and a young Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, I mean, wouldn't have been a movie podcast if Pete had mentioned Jennifer Connelly, right?
My wife going to a movie, and we're like, "Is anything good out?" And we're like, "Not really." I mean, that new Mad Max movie kind of got mixed reviews. Is it good?
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but like real solid stuff out of it.
Yes, that's to me.
It's not as good as the last one, but
right.
But supposedly, really, yeah. I've heard anything negative yet.
But just like we said, June '84. My God, you could have just went and saw one movie and then snuck into 4 more. The same day.
Yeah, watch Yumper's review, Jack. He made a video for the new Mad Max. It's a non-spoiler one too.
Okay. Oh, even better.
Yeah. One other thing on my list I noticed we didn't talk about was Cloak and Dagger. Rest in peace, Dabney Coleman.
Peace, Dabney Coleman. Yeah.
Right.
That's a fun movie from my childhood.
He had 2 movies in '84. Muppets Take Manhattan, and
he's so good in that. He's only in it for like 3 minutes. He grabs the chicken in Gonzo and he's running down the hall. It's so good.
The chicken gets it. Oh God!
He's like, please don't hurt her. So did you guys ever see 1984?
Yes.
With John Hurt. That's actually they do a pretty good job of representing the movie. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't come out that well.
No. And don't forget the Eurythmics did the soundtrack for it, and the record company hated it so much that it's hard to find their soundtrack for it.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it was made by a British production company, I think, too. So like it didn't have the distribution in the US that it had out over there, because over there it did really well.
So did you guys the movie I was kidding around about, Frankenweenie, the original like vignette?
I've never seen the original one.
It got him fired from Disney, and then what's his name? Now I'm probably at
Burton.
Yeah, Richard Burton. Richard.
Tim Burton. Richard Burton.
In between his marriages to Liz Taylor.
Jeff Burton, and then
he made this movie. They hated it, and they fired him. And then he held it in the can forever, and then made it again and kept the same name. But,
I loved Beetlejuice. LeVar Burton did a really good job with it.
Bert and Ernie really did a good job.
Yes.
But check that movie out. It's easy to find, and it's a short watch. But
I've lost too many. To be like real personal, like I've lost too many dogs in the last few years to watch that. I'm just not,
yeah.
Maybe in a few years.
Shelley Duvall and what's his name? The Wet Bandit, not Joe Pesci.
Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern's in it. It's
underrated
really
actor.
Good. It's but it was just I think at that time it was a little too dark for Disney, and they told Richard Burton to hit the road.
Yeah, it was too dark for Disney. The studio that gave us Superdad with what's his name from Hogan's Heroes, who was going around banging everything that moved.
Exactly.
Was he at Ford City?
Probably.
I'm just gonna keep recycling that joke over and over again.
He was looking for women in Peacock Alley. That's where all the weird stuff went down.
And the bowling alley too.
Yeah.
Some real Ford City characters in the game room at the bowling alley.
Yes, because I went on a few dates at the bowling alley in Ford City.
Which we're literally pretty much right next door to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Damn.
I did mention earlier Children of the Corn, which was actually on my list. So it's a terrible, awful, great movie.
You only got one list sent to you. These slackers.
Yeah.
They're all way too young. That's a problem.
Well, I would say Fitzmagic probably sent a list. It just said The Natural 5 times.
I love Aaron. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, we all do. That guy's
we all do.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Each other, and occasionally Aaron will actually like get a little catty about somebody, but will never say it in public.
Hey Jack, all I'll say is this: bowling alley at the date, one of the dates, first date, and I'm in high school, so remember, it's a little hard to scrape money together. Tony's beef, and then the bowling alley.
I'd marry you that night. Well, we might pretend we're married.
Yeah, exactly. I think Prince wrote a song like that. Let's pretend we're married.
Oh God. Forget I told you guys that story about me getting killed. I don't know what the hell got into me.
Oh, don't worry. Maybe someday we could have a draft of the worst date stories.
But that was a good day. I literally drove her out of the country, though. I don't know what. We had a good time. I did.
I drove her out of the country.
Jack, I'm just waiting for you to say, "Oh, it was a good time for me too."
Oh yeah, hey.
Hey, oh.
How about a little something for the effort?
For the effort.
Oh.
There won't be any money, but
oh my God.
on your deathbed.
Yeah, you'll receive total consciousness.
Hey, Lama. I did forget to. We haven't discussed Silent Night, Deadly Night as well,
Oh,
which came out in 1984 about a killer Santa Claus.
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
Fun game. Take the two wet bandits and switch their movie roles. Example: Daniel Stern and Raging Bull. Joe Pesci being the narrator for the Wonder Years.
Oh, that'd be great.
So I told my dad to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
See, he was typing it as I said it. Oh man. Well, this was a good one. This was a lot of fun. We need to find more topics for you two because you two work really well together on here. So,
Next, Brian, did you realize that this was actually 40 years from 1984?
Yeah.
Did you know that when you picked it?
Yeah, that was my idea. And I'm doing in a week and a half next Sunday, which is I think the 23rd. We're doing 1994, which is another really
that's
really
another
good
big year
for movies.
Oh
yes.
So we're doing that one. I got Steve Niss, and then Keelan is coming on with us, so that'll be fun.
And just say this to them if they say anything. Rose DeWitt-Decatur is worse than fucking Jenny.
We'll have that conversation. just for you.
And Pockets.
Joe Pesci and Celtic Pride. Kevin, you're killing me tonight, man. And then I think we're gonna actually do
no, the best one
as well.
Joe Pesci as the pitching coach in Rookie of the Year.
You know what? Now that would
Daniel Stern is the super.
Daniel Stern as Nicky Santoro in Casino.
Still to this day, one of the most realistic, gruesome killing scenes is Joe Pesci and his brother getting beaten to death with baseball bats in that movie.
Yes. Even though supposedly that's not how it truly happened. I mean, yes, they were found in the cornfield.
Right.
But they were I think it's a basement in Bensonville is where they were supposedly beaten to death and then dragged out to the cornfield. But that came out in the Family Secrets trials, I think, like 30 years after the fact.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I think it's
a great album name.
Well, I think it's a good time to wrap this up so we can go watch a little Drew Thorpe before he gets beat up, huh?
Yeah, it's 1-1 right now with Maldonado with an RBI.
Really?
No comment.
Yes.
I got
an RBI and a pass ball.
I've been contemplating bringing pop-up socks back just to do like really depressing stuff, like do an episode.
Andrew Vaughn with a homer, 2-1 Sox.
Oh,
his eyes are too close together to hit a homer.
Did he pull it, or did they go to right?
Oh no, he pulled it in more ways than one.
You know who killed it in Seattle and sucked everywhere else? Brian Anderson. Look up batting his statistics at games at Safeco.
And not only that, look up his numbers against what's his name?
Powder.
King Felix. Oh my God.
Fucking fun is powder.
We're making that movie.
That sounds like an SNL sketch.
Oh yeah, without question. Who was the pitcher for the Mariners? I can't think of his name.
Jamie Moyer.
No. Mid 2000s, won a Cy Young.
Felix Hernandez.
Yes, thank you. Yes, look up his numbers against Felix Hernandez too.
It's amazing. Brian, something about he's from Arizona, right?
Yes, I believe so.
He actually he was actually in the news the other day. He just either got fired or quit. He's on the coaching staff at Northwestern.
Yeah. They might have found his phone.
No.
If you ever watch the Pierzynski Barrett thing,
yeah,
watch it and stare at Brian Anderson the whole time. That guy's a freaking maniac. He went in there haymakers, just left, right, just he didn't care. I think he was on deck. I think he was on deck when Pierzynski hit.
No, Pasednik was, because Pasednik does the chokehold takedown of Barrett.
He let that Texas out on that one, you know.
Yeah,
I would have never guessed Scotty Pods to be crazy like that, but
Well, that's what the cocaine will do to you. Oh, did I
You
say
know.
that out loud?
Hanging out with Ozzy too much. Nope. Story for another time. All right.
Wait. Paul DeYoung just homered too.
That guy's been on a roll, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna get something for him in a few weeks.
Yes. 3-1 Sox over the Mariners.
Sweet.
oh well, the great Lawrence Holmes is probably taking full credit for telling people to bet against them. Because he
Yeah. Wait.
he invented this.
Waited. Yes.
Oh,
All
I
right.
love-
Well, let's wrap this one up so we can go watch a little bit of that. So,
All right.
thanks, Jack. Thanks,
All right.
thanks, Pete, for being on. Again, I just mentioned we're going to be doing another one on the 23rd. Will be the next episode. I'm also probably going to dust off pop-up socks next week. So more on that. No, I had a couple of ideas in my head that I wanted to pop around. So I'll let you guys know this week if we're going to do that or not. But next Sunday, Keelan and Steve Niss will be on for 1994 movies. So we're just going to keep rolling into that. I think we're going to do 04 at some point, but I don't know. But yeah, thanks again for being on, Pete, Jack. Thank you everyone in the chat for contributing with us today, and we'll see you again soon.
Sounds
All right,
good. Thanks a lot.